Hello all and welcome back to another Hyper Blue Reviews. Today's subject is one of my favorite games from my youth, Super Mario 64. I originally wrote this review back in 2020 before the announcement of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and as such, this is more of a retrospective review and also a take on my thoughts as to why Super Mario 64 still holds up today. With that being said, enjoy the review.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
"It's a me, Mario" is such an iconic phrase that it launched a console's life. I have many fond memories of playing Super Mario 64 as a kid. Memories such as discovering all of its secrets to learning new tricks to make the gameplay easier. Super Mario 64 has countless areas that will keep you busy for hours. Plus, it's the first 3D Super Mario title, and while it may be a little rough around the edges by today's standards, it was a graphical achievement for its time. I mean, just look at Bubsy 3D. Originally released in 1996 as one of the launch titles for the Nintendo 64, one may think that this classic won't hold up to today's standards. While that may be true from a graphical standard, obviously, the game plays like you're playing Super Mario Odyssey for the Switch. Having played a variety of N64 games lately, I found myself always gravitating towards Super Mario 64. The controls are still smooth, the gameplay is still fun, and the music is still very enjoyable. With that being said, let's get on to the story. The story is simple. Mario comes to Princess Peach's castle for some cake, but Bowser kidnaps or traps her and the castle's inhabitants literally within the walls of the castle. Bowser accomplishes this by using the castle's power stars. The castle consists of 3 floors, a basement, and a lot of rooms and secret areas. Most rooms contain paintings that act as portals to other worlds. Each of the worlds contain a number of the castle's power stars. Only 6 is shown to select from, but there's one hidden in every world that you earn by collecting 100 coins. Each new door or area requires you to have a certain number of power stars before you're allowed to enter. There are also 3 different dungeons where Mario faces off with Bowser. Beating Bowser nets Mario a key to one of the other floors, with the exception of the last fight. There are 120 stars defined throughout the castle, however, you don't have to collect all 120 stars in order to beat the game. However, collecting all 120 stars does net a surprise in the courtyard, specifically on top of the castle. Once you beat Bowser for a 3rd time, the Toads are released from the walls and Princess Peach is released from the stained glass window located above the castle's entryway. Like other Mario games, the main goal is just saving the princess. The only difference is, with this game, it's in 3D, so let's talk about the gameplay. As I mentioned previously, this is the first 3D Super Mario title. The player is able to roam about freely in most worlds, however there are a few levels that feature a linear design. These linear levels were designated for areas where the player ultimately faces Bowser. This switch to 3D also allows Mario to pull off more complex jumps by combining regular jumps with other actions. This includes the double and triple jumps, backflips, dives, and a long jump. Mario is able to punch and kick in this game as well. Punching and kicking helps Mario with A, defeating enemies, and B, discovering secrets within the various worlds. Mario is also able to swim in this game, much like in older games, but in Super Mario 64, Mario's health meter will slowly deplete as he's underwater. This indicates how long he can hold his breath for. Coins will replenish Mario's health at any time, so when underwater, the player should always seek out coins to keep their health up. There are 3 hidden power-ups in the form of Mario hats, which are located throughout the castle. To unlock these power-ups, the player needs to activate a switch in 3 hidden levels. Once pressed, the special power-up question mark blocks become available. There are 3 different types of question mark blocks: red, green, and blue. The red block gives you the wing cap, which grants Mario the ability to fly. The green block gives you the metal cap, which makes Mario immune to most damage. You can still lose a life if you fall off a cliff though, so be careful. The blue block gives you the vanish cap. This turns Mario slightly invisible. Pretty sure in the game he is invisible, but you have to be able to see him to know where you're going. Being invisible allows Mario to walk through some obstacles and make him invulnerable to some attacks. Each level has its own theme and has its own set of challenges. Some stars are unlocked by defeating bosses, collecting coins, racing, and performing certain tasks. There are also stars hidden throughout the castle as well. Some are found in hidden areas such as hidden cap levels and slides, while others are obtained by talking to toads and catching a rabbit. Here's a Hyperblue fun fact for you. The yellow rabbit's name is Mips. Mips was named based on the Nintendo 64's Mips architecture processor. Basically what that means is it's the type of processor that was used in the Nintendo 64. A side note for players, if you get bored playing the main game, you can also play around with the 3D model of Mario's head at the beginning of the game. I can honestly remember spending a lot of time with friends just making his face look weird. In my opinion, Nintendo did Super Mario 64 right. Instead of a large overworld like Super Mario Worlds, you get one castle to explore. And even though it only is one castle, it's still a pretty large place to explore, so you'll never find yourself getting bored. In addition to the large castle, each painting leads to a pretty big world as well. The paintings are a unique take on the series that allowed Nintendo to create an artificially expansive world while still keeping everything within the confines of Princess Peach's castle. It never feels like a chore trying to collect stars either, albeit a few that are placed in areas that are hard to see. And that's probably my biggest gripe, is that the camera can sometimes get in the way of what you're doing. Camera aside though, I never had too many issues on my recent playthrough of the game. It was a little frustrating, but I mostly got over it. A lot of effort went into developing Super Mario 64, and it shows. The game was built from the ground up, starting with the camera system, and while a lot of people, including myself, criticized the camera, it was a pretty amazing feat for 1996. The team also put a lot of focus on Mario's movements, fine-tuning them as they progressed. Mario's movement is amazing in this game and is still very responsive 25 years later. I've already mentioned it, but the only thing dated about this experience is the graphics. It looks like a game that's made in 1996, but one of the better ones. Still looking at you, Bubsy 3D. Here's another Hyperblue fun fact before I go into my verdict. Super Mario 64 was one of the first games in the series to feature Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario. It also features the voice of Leslie Swan, the then editor of Nintendo Power, as Princess Peach. Leslie Swan apparently also wrote the English text for the game, so that's pretty cool. So all in all, Nintendo really outshined themselves on Super Mario 64. It's as impressive today as it was 25 years ago. Minor grievances aside, this game is still very fun to pick up and play. If you have an N64 and a copy of Super Mario 64, or Switch and Super Mario 3D All-Stars, why not give it a try? You'll be glad that you did. I give Super Mario 64 5 stars out of 5. I hope you enjoyed this month's review. As always, thank you for watching.